Hey, Dr. Suggs, I hope you're doing well. I understand you're a very busy woman, and I am just going to provide you with this brief presentation so you can get a visual and audio understanding of what our management plan actions will be for your property. And the paper will be provided with more detail at a later time. So I know these are requested actions. I'm just going to go over them one more time with you. Sustainable forestry, conservation easements, trophy deer hunting, species conservation, wildlife and ecological indicators, restoring American chestnut, hunting opportunities, and selling red oaks. So I know these are your requested actions, and I'm just going to briefly go through each one of them so I can just explain a little further. These are the additional actions that I would like to propose for wood duck habitat, wild turkey habitat, and recreational pond fishing. So tree restoration and harvest, first one, American chestnut. pH of 4 to 5 is ideal, only leaving one spot of the property viable for American chestnut restoration. Majority of pretty much almost the whole property soil consists of a pH of 6, except for one spot. So we're going to own that spot of pH of 5. That's where we're going to focus for our American chestnuts. You can see highlighted on the red image, an image in red. So less than 70% canopy cover is what we're going to be going for, and can grow up to 20 inches in diameter. So we're going to plant them spatially, appropriately spatially in that area. Red oak harvest. I understand you're in about 30 years. These when we plant these trees, they will be able to be harvested. So this will be more for your children's income, and I commend you for that. That's a great thing for you to do. So right now we found Texas red oaks as the predominant red oak, and it is located on this part of the property in red. So that's the area we're going to be focused on planting more. We're going to plant the northern red oak, Texas red oak, and southern red oaks. We will be finding the price per log. The information will be provided in the paper. That information is still being collected, but we will decide appropriately on the ratio of how we would plant and on the price that would be acquired from each log. So healthy and sustainable ecosystem. I understand you were looking for indicator species, so so we can know that your ecosystem is healthy. So these indicator species will provide that information if they're there. So the prothonotary warbler is a great indicator for bottomland hardwoods, which is what your area will be. It has a HSI of 0.668, and that is what it is on the property. However, and 1 would be ideal. So we're not there yet, but snags and heavy forest density will reduce the population density of the prothonotary warbler. So we will manage for that to bring that HSI number up. Woodpeckers, we don't know. There were no bird count, point count surveys, so we don't know if they're there or not. Freshwater mussels, evidence of non-native and non-native species were present throughout all the water bodies, so it's a great indicator for healthy water, no matter how brown or yucky it may look. And herptiles, yeah, so little brown and 5-line skinks were found, as well as 6 separate frog species. Frogs everywhere. Lots of herptiles, anoles. So you're really good on that department for indicator species. River otters, they weren't sampled for. We also never saw any evidence for them, so we're just not sure on that department. So trophy, I know wild game hunting. I know your husband's a avid hunter, and we would like to provide him with trophy deer hunting opportunities. First big step for that would be to contact the property owners, the immediate neighboring property owners, in a discussion so everyone could come to this agreement. There's only 2 options between either doing that or high fence. High fence is or ecological barriers, so we'd really like to avoid that. But if every neighbor is in agreement, there should really be no problems in having trophy deer present. So the deer browse HSI habitat suitability index, the data will be finished and they will be elaborated on in the paper plan. Food plots will be planted, so your husband can have specific areas he can choose to hunt out of a deer stand. We provide the proper food and vegetation in those food plots, and these deer will be managed to be 4.5 years or 150 scoring class or greater. That would be an ideal trophy deer. So here's an image of 2 deer on the property. One may be pregnant because it's getting that time where they'll be having their babies in the next few months. Wood ducks. So this is one of my proposals. Out of the timber survey, 2 trees have possessed cavities large enough for wood duck nesting. So with that, we will need to provide wood duck boxes for proper nesting throughout the property. As you can see on the right image, areas highlighted in red will be permanently flooded, and they will be planted with wild rice. They will plant with wild rice as great foraging for these ducks. And right here, figure 5, you can see a wood duck box with a predator guard at the bottom. This is the type of things we'll be planting throughout the property. Wild turkey. So habitat is really great on your property for wild turkey. It has almost everything they need. Not much needs to be done for wild turkey management. However, raccoons will need to be actively trapped and exterminated to ensure nest survival of these hens, of their eggs. Raccoons will count for 80% of nest predation, so we will need to there will need to be a management for that. Pastures and fields will be left alone, excluding the American chestnut area, which was identified in figure 1 at the beginning. So we would just leave everything alone because they're great for invertebrate foraging and mating. Here is a picture of a raccoon on the left, as you can see. Conservation easements. We were looking into 2, wetland reserve easement, which is to help restore wetlands from agriculture use, and the conservation reserve program to improve water quality, reduce soil erosion, and loss of wildlife habitat. Both of these are great. They will provide you passive funding, and your property will be managed for these objectives, and it'll be really something good for your property. And the last thing will be pond fishing. I understand you have kids, and kids love to fish, so it'll be a good activity for you and your family. So recreational fishing, there's 3 ponds, and fishing docks will be added on 1 and 2. Ponds that you can see on the image on the right. And largemouth bass and channel catfish will be stocked in all 3 of these ponds. This will provide fun fishing, and they're really good fish for these ponds itself. And that'll be it. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.